Caroline out here looking like a model. Caroline Dubios, welcome back to October Red Boxing. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm happy to be here with you.
Happy to be here again. It's sort of like the rerun.
Literally.
How did you cope actually? Because I didn't even get to speak to you at the last presser, obviously with the postponement, etc. How did you deal with that?
It was weird because I was very frustrated at first. I wanted to fight. I was ready. I made weight. Everything was done. And when it got postponed, it was more about maintaining. I made sure I got good rounds in sparring, and I'm really happy with how my sparring went. So after that, it was just maintaining, not overdoing it because there's a line and you can't go over it.
When you talk about that line, like you said, you were already ready, fight ready, good to go. And then it's like, how then does your trainer like taper that for you to like slow down a little bit before you up the game again?
Yeah, we were making sure we weren't overtraining, making sure we were keeping it to 2 sessions in the gym, and making sure we were doing our S&C, but we slowed a little bit on that and just doing other things like running and lots of sparring and more boxing training.
How's your sparring been going? I don't need obviously to hear what you've been beating up poor females in the gym, but how has it been going in relation to learning and still getting better at the sport?
Yeah, that's what I love most about it, is that I'm learning more and more each and every day. At the gym with Shane, he's telling me to work on things, like instead of just practicing what I'm good at, practice at things that we're not so good at, fighting on the inside, putting the pressure on people. And I've enjoyed that. I always spar people heavier than me and bigger than me. And that's my favourite bit, is that you're in with girls who've got an advantage, size advantage, they've got longer arms. It's about how do you deal with that?
I was going to ask, do you just spar females or do you spar some males as well?
No, I have to get in with the boys, sometimes, but it's horrible, but you dread it. It's good, it's good. Every time you come out, you feel like you've really, you went through it and you feel good about it at the end of it.
I admire that honesty, because a lot of people would say, yeah, I spar boys and so what, yeah, I'm really tough. But you're like saying, actually, they really put you through your paces.
It is, and it's mad because they're lighter than me and everything, but they're really strong. And, as boys, they're bigger than you, naturally stronger, faster, and all that stuff. But it's about learning and learning each and every day. You're not going to improve if you don't get in there with people that are better than you. You don't improve if you get in there with people that don't push you. So I'm improving every day.
Because your style is quite come forward, it's definitely aggressive. You like to really push back your opponents. When you've had sparring partners, you've mentioned that a couple of them have been like heavier than you. Obviously, they're absorbing the shots, etc. Like I said, we'll skip the details. But what would it be like if you got in with someone that was lighter, maybe quicker on their feet, that would really like push you to test you to see if you can cut the ring off?
I haven't actually gotten. When I first turned pro, I was sparring girls who were lighter than me. But then as soon as I don't know, they just couldn't keep up, I suppose, in strength-wise, and so I ended up just getting with girls who are a lot bigger than me.
And we talk about this fight, your opponent. What do you know about him?
She's experienced. She's had 30 fights. She's been in with Katie Taylor, Delphine Pursuit, Maeva Hamadushi. She's used to big nights. She's used to fighting people who are better than her, and she knows how to cope. She knows how to, she is game. She doesn't just back off like Vader Maisaka does. She comes at you and she's throwing punches. She's dangerous, and even Shane told me she's got power. So be always smart and intelligent, and how you go about it.
And how do you build on that intelligence in the gym when you're talking about being smart? Like you said, she's powerful, she's got that power. What then do you build on? Your IQ to be able to outsmart such an experienced boxer. 30 fights, the names that you've said there shows that she's coming in with experience. But how are you going to negate that with your style?
I know I'm a better fighter than her, I've got a better jab than her, I keep it long range. I'm a southpaw, tricky, so it's about that. But it's mainly about dealing with the pressure. If this was in the gym at sparring, I wouldn't even be thinking about it. I'll be thinking, okay, I'm sparring, yeah, whatever, I'm going to practice this and this and this and that. But now it's a fight. Now it's a big deal. It's about dealing with that pressure. How do you deal with being under the lights, under the bright lights, You made weight, you've done all that there. There's an occasion now to it. How do you deal with that? And that's what's going to be the biggest test for me.
And we talk about an occasion, we can see the board behind you, an absolutely phenomenal card to be on, an all-female card, so early on in your career, something that we don't even know if we're going to see again within boxing. It's an iconic moment. How does that feel to be part of that?
It feels amazing. I'll be honest, when it first came out, there was an all-female card. I was a bit against it, I felt like you're making it too much female and male. You're making too much of a thing of that, you know. But then as soon as the build up and as it's getting closer and closer, and I'm seeing Errol Spence saying he's never been as excited for a female fight as this. I'm seeing people like just posting, commenting, boxers that I look up to and I'm inspired by, and they're mentioning this fight. They're gonna be watching me. Like they're gonna be watching the whole show, and that's amazing to me. People are interested in this, and they're not interested because it's a female fight. They're interested because it's a great fight, and that's what's important.
So what's it like to be part of this generation where the sport is evolving, where you've got credible male fighters, champions actually saying, you know what, I'm interested in this, I want to watch this card?
I love it. You know, I love seeing people show and support like that, and I'm so grateful that I'm actually born in this era and this time. You know, I remember posting on my Twitter a moment ago saying that Lucia Riker, you know, it's a shame she wasn't a part of this generation because they missed out. They didn't get the appreciation that they deserved, and so I'm so grateful that I've been born in this era where I'm a fighter and people respect me for just being a fighter.
The step-up fight, you know, you are going against a credible opponent. How is it that your career is being managed? Because sometimes I think when you're talented, sometimes you can get pushed too quickly. How do you look at your career and how you want to pace that? Because I know you'll fight anyone that's put in front of you, but how do you really want to pace your career? Because you're still so early in it.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely true what you're saying. We've seen people get pushed for ahead and they end up slipping up. They end up losing, and it's like that didn't have to happen. But I've been sparring really well, and the sparring that I've done, the experiences that I've had as an amateur have given me confidence and have given me belief that I know I can go all the way. Shane has always told me that if I said I wanted a world title fight tomorrow, he'll get that for me. But it's about, you know, when I feel like I'm ready and when they feel like I'm ready. You know, I've got nothing but praises from people in the gym, and I know that I've got the ability to fight and beat anyone.
I'm one of these that definitely supports you. You know, I've followed you from the beginning, so it's nice to see that you're progressing steadily but competently through your career. Saturday, you stopped your last opponent. I remember I was there in Bournemouth as she took the gasp of air.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen this time with a more seasoned opponent, one for a better word?
I wanna beat her up, and that's the only way I can think about it. You know, I wanna be hitting her with a jab. I don't want her to hit me with anything. You know, I don't want to be running, but I want to be intelligent and smart. I don't want to be getting hit with silly punches. You know, I want to practice things that we've been working on, getting close, getting long, mixing it up with the ranges, up and down. You know, I want to do a lot of things, and I want to practice. I want to beat her up. That's all I can say. I want to win. I want to beat her up.
And that is why I really enjoy speaking to you, Caroline, because you're able to break it down into the technical side of boxing, you know, and it makes our fans look at you as a fighter and say, you know what, she knows her stuff. I remember when you were telling me all of the different fighters that you look up to and certain old school quotes that you were quoting from old school trainers. How important is it to keep that and maintain that mentality as you go through your career?
It's very important. There's a saying, you're never too old to keep learning, and that's the truth. I always like to look at people from this generation, and I always like to look back at people from generations before. It's about learning each and every day. Every time you step out the door, you got to keep learning, and I'm trying to do that as a person and as a boxer.
And finally, the two main events. We'll start off with Michaela Mayer and Alicia Baumgardner. Who wins and why?
I've said this a million times, it's a 50-50 fight. Both of those fights are 50-50s, Michaela and Cressler's. I just feel like I'm not surprised if Michaela wins. I won't be surprised if Alicia wins. But I do feel like I've seen Michaela in different situations. I've seen her have to box, you know, against Erica Farias, Helen Joseph. I've seen her have to box and be intelligent with her movement and stuff. And I've seen her gas tank. I've seen her against Maeva Amadoushi, where she was pressured from the first round to the last. And anyone who knows Maeva Amadoushi, that girl does not stop throwing punches. I've seen her have to go and get someone, you know, against Jennifer Han and others. So I've seen so many levels and different aspects to her game. I just feel like she has shown more to the public and to me, and I just feel like she's got that edge and experience as an amateur and as a pro. I think she'll win.
And then we move to the headline. You know, we heard the girls going at it again. So we've got Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall. You said it's a 50-50 fight, but who do you see winning and why?
I don't know. This time round, I just feel like there's a different energy with the Clarissa Shields. She's snappy. She's on it, man. She wants to fight. And you can see that. Both girls want to fight. Savannah is very good. She's very underrated in her ability because she knocks out so many people. But I just feel like there's levels, and Clarissa Shields maybe one step above.
We like it. It's always a pleasure to speak to you, Caroline Dubois. I know I'm looking at a future world champion, so it's brilliant for me to get these precious gems when you're so early in your career. All the best for Saturday night, and thank you for being a guest on the channel.
Thank you. I appreciate, taking the time. Thank you.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.